Good afternoon, Amsterdam. Hi there. My name is Dale Sky Jones. I am the Executive Chancellor for Amsterdam University. I am also a community organizer, and I am about priorities, very similar to the current administration. We both want safe communities. We both want emergency services funded. As I stand here before you, I almost feel a deja vu to a few months back. I could copy and paste with the recent gun violence that's happened in light of these recent federal shutdowns or attempts at shutdown. And I'm a recent mom. And I feel this is just simply tragic for the victims and families of violent crime that do not have the full attention of law enforcement. It's tragic for the cities and counties, the schools, the emergency services that depend on our tax dollars. And it's tragic for the qualified medical patients who are now forced into a black market to find their medicine. Make no mistake, an attack on providers is an attack on patients. Considering the corruption of the drug war to deny a proven medicine to sick and dying under the guise of protection, simply ignoring and releasing child predators, human traffickers, rapists, enriching violent criminal cartels and fueling gun violence and crime. You know, we have 30,000 violent gangs registered in America right now. Knowing that a job and education will prevent our youth from joining gangs, from getting involved, we continue instead this failed policy that targets the young people of color most often. We're keeping the criminals in charge of distribution and enriching these violent cartels. So when you ask me why we stand here, I want you to ask yourself, your readers, and this president to name the advantages of continuing this failed policy. Name the advantages of continuing the drug war, and ask what advantage we derive from continuing the failed policy that affects everything we do, from how cops respond to how we educate our children. Standing with me today is an excellent representation of the very community that is affected by the current policies. I'd like to first welcome our elected representative, and I'm hoping Bob Swanson is here, on behalf of Nate Miley. He's our elected County Board of Supervisors for Alameda County, and our elected officials have something to say. Mr. Bob Swanson.
I am Bob Swanson, B.O.B. S-W-A-N-S-O-N, representing Alameda County Supervisor Nate Miley, N-A-T-E-M-I-L-E-Y. And I brought with me a resolution passed by the Alameda County Democratic Party Central Committee condemning these raids, the waste of money, the violence that goes on, and here we are using millions and millions of dollars to bust medical marijuana dispensaries that are providing a service to sick people. This is insane. Supervisor Miley supports this resolution that was put out by the Democratic Party Central Committee, and he will be taking it to the Board of Supervisors to have it ratified by the Board of Supervisors very, very soon. President Obama needs to understand that his prosecutors have gone rogue. They've gone Sarah Palin on him. They are not following his policy. They're not following the policies of the Justice Department, Eric Holder. This needs to stop. President Obama needs to realize this may cost him millions of votes in this election coming up. And he needs every vote he can get because the opposition is too ugly. So please, President Obama, stop this madness and rein in your prosecutors. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was Bob Swanson for Alameda County Board of Supervisors, Nate Miley. Next, I'm honored to introduce someone that has been on the front lines of the drug war and knows it better than most of us in this room. Judge Jim Gray, retired Orange County Superior Court Judge.
you didn't hear is that I was a former Assistant United States Attorney for several years in Los Angeles. I really care about this office. And these raids are going on in my name, in my office, and it's simply not the right thing to do. And I'm horrified by all of this. You know, as a judge, as a former federal prosecutor, as a Navy JAG attorney, I have seen that the tougher you get with regard to drug crime, the softer you get with regard to the prosecution of everything else. And it just makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. But I am here to tell you that as we see from these patients, from these providers, that what has happened here is in attacking and closing down places like Harborside, places like Oakland. Nothing good will happen from that. Nothing good whatsoever. Well, the rationale for doing this really eludes me. But you're going to have patients who now don't have any testing with regard to their medicine. They're going to have to go underground to get it. It will not result in less marijuana being sold or consumed in Oakland or anywhere else. It'll just make it illegal. Push a lot more money to the drug cartels, a lot more money to the juvenile gangs and other thugs. So this is simply wrong. But I sense a major change here, and in fact, I would suggest to you that the slogan for this hereafter is, the Hempire Strikes Back. I'm here proudly representing the Governor Johnson, Judge Gray candidacy for President of the United States and Vice President of the United States. I'm here to say, Governor Johnson is the most qualified person to be President of the United States that I know of. He understands this whole drug war system as well as so many other things. He was the one, back in 1999, with no political benefit to him whatsoever, that stood up while the sitting governor of New Mexico and said, the war on drugs is not working. He's conducted his own audit. We simply must change that. And he stands up with you today in exactly that platform. And I stand there with him. So, understand, the world, there is no hope for any medical marijuana dispensary to survive within the next year or two. Either if President Obama is reelected or Governor Romney is elected, there won't be any medical marijuana dispensaries in the country. It is only Governor Gary Johnson that will be able to ensure that survival. So I'm asking you, support us as we are supporting you, and we will get this job done. We will look back to today with Richard here and with Steve and all of these other people that are doing the right thing for the right reason. And I'm saying, federal government, back off. Follow the law of California. Follow the instructions that seemingly were given by the Attorney General. Let's use this under the law instead of outside it. Final word from a politician. I hate to call myself that. Final word. The term controlled substances is the biggest oxymoron in our lives today. Because as soon as you prohibit a substance, you give up all of your ability to have anything whatsoever to say about any controls at all. So with regard to the quality, the quantity, the place of sale, the age restrictions, licensing, it's all abandoned to the underground dealers. Let's keep these drugs under the law. Let's keep this medicine under the law. Let's support the Colorado initiative and the Oregon initiative and the state of Washington initiative to treat marijuana like alcohol, and tell the federal government we, as adults in California, Colorado, Washington, and Oregon, are perfectly able to decide how best to serve and protect our people, and tell the federal government to leave us alone. Thank you all for being here.
And thank you for bringing the message of Gary Johnson, former governor of New Mexico. We appreciate that as well. Next, I would like to introduce the gentleman that pulled this press conference together and co-hosting with me, the National Cannabis Industry Association Executive Director, Aaron Smith.